Plus, Apple. Internet tonight is blazing on my CTVGH. My CTVGH, the Frontline Ghana. Subscribe the two internet. Okay? We are picking the live feed on the internet on CTVGH, of course. So if you're watching the show right now, you can see that yes, the Frontline show is airborne live across dozens of stations, all picking the feed tonight. So folks, you call a friend, you call a brother, you call a sister, we sit here and then we make a sense of it all. Yeah, very big. Tonight's show is blazing, right? Hey, yep. So we are airborne tonight, and what do I have for you tonight? Have loads and loads of issues for you. We are looking at the internal confusion in the opposition New Patriotic Party, where two candidates, may I say, the flag bearer of the party, Alhaji Muhammadu Bawumia, and candidates Kennedy Ejapon were to embark on a thank you tour. Of course, it's a tradition in the party, but unfortunately, as they tried to embark on this, something happened, and now it's so clear that Kennedy Ejapon would have to back up and do his own thing. May I say, coupled with other issues that is also, rocking the party internally, nerve-wracking development, and a lot of people are talking about this. Folks, very disturbing, right? And I'm sure many of you are monitoring the development. Now, what we do know now is that, yes, candidate Bawumia is out there doing his own thing, as earlier projected that if the party go for elections and wins or does not win, sure, the party will definitely have to embark on what you call a thank you tour, and that's what Bawumia is doing now. Now, Kennedy Kwame Akumprekwe Ejapon has back off following some very bad, nasty incident, and he thinks that, hey, we need to quickly back off, then rearrange, realign, and focus on our direction. By the way, this isn't, call it a campaign, sort of. So decided to back off. But then again, some party stalwarts like Kodwo Mpianin are also out there, and Kodwo Mpianin has earlier suggested that if it's maybe, let's abort the thank you tour and let it be. But it's so clear that some party officials do not agree also with Kodwo Mpianin, because it is said that this is a laid down tradition that has been done several years with all the candidates who handle MPP, both those that won the presidency or otherwise were in opposition. Even if you contested and you lost, still you have to go for this thank you tour kind of. So, well, but folks, nevertheless, to say that after Kennedy Ejapon back off, then comes an avalanche of attack, a blistering attack coming from one of the party members. And I think many of you have heard all of the blistering attacks, the scathing attacks, insults, all sorts of what, coming from one of the party officials, and precisely Kwame Abronye, who is also known earlier, may I say, in the previous, also a friend to, very close friend to Kennedy Japan. Kwame Abronye is also a very good friend to me. And look at what is going on. So distasteful, not in a good taste at all. And I do believe that the party officials are monitoring the situation closely with what is happening in the very latest of this thank you talk. Because one, I don't know what precipitated the blistering attacks from Kwame Abronye to Kennedy Japan. I don't know what precipitated this. But if I were Kwame Abronye, it would be that the consideration that we come from somewhere, we are one people. So, Charlie, you're a brother, because I do know that they've been there for each other. Kwame Abronye has been there for Kennedy. Kennedy has been there for him. You know, you're a little brother to him. So, Charlie, let's all move. Stop this, you know, blistering attacks and all this, you know, name callings and descriptions of adjectives of this and this and that. But for me, that is an issue. I believe Kennedy and his people will sort that out. Nonetheless, it still does appear that the internal brouhaha and internal struggles and the standoff won't go away anytime soon before the NPP would have to go to the polls to elect yet another flag bearer. And we are watching the situation closely. Still on the bill tonight. So, still on the bill tonight. Today, the NPP took to the streets, right across the principal street of the capital, marched all from where? Is it the high street or so? All the way to the High Court, to the Supreme Court, then to Parliament, then to Jubilee House. Great, we have a build-up for you. We have a build-up for you on the NPP protest march in support of the Chief Justice, Her Ladyship, Madam Tokonu. We have the build-up for you. Still on the bill, a military coup plot foiled in the Burkina Faso. Tonight we're taking you straight also to Burkina Faso. The military coup in Burkina Faso foiled by some Western elements. Yes, and now it does appear there's a global eye all on Burkina Faso, and the global protest also in support of what? Ibrahim Traoré. And I'm sure many of you have heard, because there's a serious build-up, you know, on the social media, protest all across the world, globally, in support of Ibrahim Traoré. Tonight we have the build-up for you about this military coup. But are you aware that here in Ghana, there is a report, there is a report conducted by one renowned agency called what? The Center for Democratic Congress, the Center for what is it? CDD, yeah, CDD, yeah, Center for Democratic Development. Center for Democratic Development, CDD, Afrobarometer, their latest Afrobarometer report suggests a significant number of Ghanaians are what? Yearning for what? A military takeover. They will be happy if a military takeover in Ghana. They will be happy. It's not CDD saying no. According to the CDD latest Afrobarometer report, a significant Ghanaians, I think between 40-50% of Ghanaians will prefer if the government governing this country is a military government and they are okay. And I can understand them, and I tend to agree with those Ghanaians. Brace yourself tonight. A lot is coming. Very, very hot program. Yeah. Call a friend, call a brother, call a sister, call anybody you know from all over the world. We are blazing on the internet on my CTVGH, the Frontline, Ghana. And of course, you can also watch it on your television. If you have a smart TV or if you have a digital TV, you can watch it on your TV. Straight up, all right? Those of you who cannot get it on TV, go to the social media, Facebook, YouTube, Facebook, YouTube, and the link is my CTVGH and the Frontline Ghana. You are cool to go. All right. If you have Go TV, you can also go. You can pick the feed on Go TV channel 21. I think I'm correct, right? Go TV channel 21. You can get the feed. You watch the Frontline, the nation's biggest, the whole Ghana, the nation's biggest investigative magazine show with your investigative journalist Kwaku Annan. We are airborne together with the entire crew, all here set tonight, and we're about to give you the best and the best. Folks, let's get started. It's a brand new month and a brand new week. Today is what, 5th, am I right? I guess so. Yeah, 5th of May 2025, the year of our Lord, and I'm here to serve you tonight. Perhaps look as though many media houses have gone to bed. They're tired. We take over from this night till the darkest of it, right? As somewhere that ponos one adria de bano, MPP internal wranglings, bickerings, standoff continue to deepen. Even though we are learning that the thank you tour, as earlier suggested, Ora Kennedy Japan, kahomo mako na womina akwada ase no. Hunte bi akwoso asa hunte no. De bedia ne se pamno twa no nkwankyere srodo. Kwame Japan atwe no ho. Party mpenimfo ni bi ti se kwadwo mpianimu nya kasa se ebeya thank you tour no kwa no omo abort. While we also learning some say party chairman so atwe no ho enemni ade fine afi yenyama baomi ankasa nso ye de onko baomi akonso a boninim kire se yenya nti ase so say it's a lay down all the party no eyi nipa titire omo edi party nenim say ye to so aba na odi nkunim as a president o so we ni nkunim by all means it's a say we de ukona ukoda ase nti sa traditional and omo ye de edi so na fi eba ne saying enna candidates baako beka baomie ho emomakwa ono ne supporters were caught in the crossfire and as the supporters ni bi na obi people, you know, for whatever reason sa abrante ye boni din kanza alhaji wan Surajos whatever ne wo makeka ho na ebie tuo ho ka etuo ne ebie tuo ho se monhwe tuo obi brande she gun se etuo ni hwe kakra se etesen die ntia se onhwe tuo se die nti etuo hya wo ho nti onhwe bi asem na esie na supporter ba konsu ne de second awon aden why today bedia ne say Kennedy den or back off, which I support this. Baumia sonko yes oko enunumunu afi wo hwe nioma epie eba no a na ne kwasem nie asefim ye kire se until just a day or two after that announcement in the buy no, then we are seeing very horrific, very horrendous video bia enama bontia eye ora Kwame Abronye. And so audition Ura Kennedy not just say a very, very distasteful. Now me believe say party no mumpeni for mahwe sa video no a mo member no eye Kwame Abronye osi a audition Ura Kennedy Japan no a na chere say ade a hadwini yi papa minim how far impenimfo am war party ni mu saying and a handle sa issue no say ma handle ma bibia aye kama ana say mojane sa. For me that is very bad. Na me name the circumstances to which in so Kwame so oni ni penny in Japan and so ebidino basa say, which is very, very bad. Because what I do know is say Kwame omumi enu na ya Kwame na I know say woman so we sign pen nti eye me wonwa bebre say ebri Kwame Abronye is out there na seven prediasa o sane bia digu ora Kennedy so, which for me se party no mpenimfo epesa asomdwe be mu a, by this time I believe se party no mpenimfo should by now issue the statement. Yeah, se mo pesa asomdwe eba te by this time as I said party no mpenimfo as I said nchemaide mo issue statement on the blistering and the avalanche of attacks ora Kwame Abronye odiaba ora Kennedy so. No, enye so distasteful, enye nice. There say party no mpenimfo in free general secretary so you ora Justin Abonua ane party chairman in team Justin Kodia Omar my name Justin Kodia me a de bedia no minim udini de bia metumi ya rehearsal wo ho saa Abonua minima de kuntia de bia meka Abonua Justin Kodia. Forgive me, let me go a little bit on crutch. Kodia. Yes, sir. Kodia. Enya Abonua. Kodia. All right. Justin, fetch mercy. Nye deliberate. But the video no. Sometimes who would be the did by any. Now, into anadri ye ba be hwe enime bi wo. Sa MPP one more you can say to na anase whatever ye ba be hwe nsem bi wo. The sign to su biom no NPP and so I am back on a very fruitful exercise today. They walk through the principal street all across the capital. From him for when is it High Street or the bar, the Supreme Court, the bar Parliament, they call Jubilee House. No more submit it when we make same way Friday, Chile Ghana for say. Mempenny Paboniphobia some mobile aqua disturb one, Munyai, Mom come demonstration. Any penny Papa Pebiaso some mobile a MPP affairs, Munyamom come demonstration. And I think that by close of today, we are learning the demonstration went successful, beautiful. I don't know how many times, how many days, weeks, months, years, perhaps the MPP is going to embark on such a massive demonstration all through, regional capitals. And now to say, I don't know, but a more constitutional legitimate right. The issues beneath demonstration and on a yasem. The issues beneath the demonstration and no assem. Other than say one person the principal streets of the capital at the demonstration exercise grounds they have the right say anapa area anadro one best sorry imbrikatuo ta omo ko nemne ade omo exercise omo right anadwi mesa de mwura Burkina Faso a military coup foiled. Me assure so was to the Ekoso ewo Burkina Faso ho. A military coup foiled, and of course some Western elements have been accused. Some Western elements have been accused to have instigated a military coup to oust Ibrahim Traoré from power. The question is, so far, how many days, weeks in a say coup be EPC or Burkina Faso, and within the African region, assembling an African region or mediato form. African region or comment ECOWAS, Economic Committee of West Africa, one more issue statement or Makasa, BBSC, at the end of Mokeka. And why the military coup in Burkina Faso? Why? Mediane Truwa, I feel me bisa question be said. Ghana Hankasanon so what say Center for Democratic Development, CDD, latest Afrobarometer report suggests a significant number of Ghanaians are also yearning for what? That if a military leader, ADSWA, they are okay. And that is the flip side of the danger lurking around this nation. Many times I say, the skies may soon rocket with miseries. And there are dark clouds covering the airspace. Me Kwaku Annan, I tend to share with those number of a year Afro barometer and capture on say military leader be net on my so chimini beje. Me no my dream, yeah. Me no my dream, that doesn't mean say me support say why? Me be so the most nonsense part of why people talk like this is that why the military for no nipa na. Ibisamo. The very nonsense of people saying, Kwaku Nebasa, are you calling for the military to take over? How dare you say this? Military omunye nipa. Aren't the military human beings? Military, Burkina Faso, Abrante no Tuono, Ibrahim Traore, onye nipa. It's been how many days, weeks, months, years, Ibrahim Traore has been leaving the people of Burkina Faso. Assembly so Burkina Ho. Nonsense and balderdash. You guys should bow your head in shame. I wish we don't have NDC, we don't have MPP in this country. Oh yes, I support. I'm telling you, Ghanaians, that is how far some of us are getting incessant and impatient with some of this stupidity and nonsense in this so-called Fourth Republic. That sooner rather later, there's going to be a heavy implosion in this country. Samunimwa. Timodie MPP for nkoso amunimu nkwasi asam no opposition ho na NDC for so montra ho na munya madwene say oh we are in power, and of course all of you still feel say hey yeah we have our 6 million people supporting us. NPP for so believe say they also have their 6 million supporters. So agrobi na mudi entia ebiesi wo mem happen yo ebiesi wo mem ha pen MPP ni mo NDC me say minya the end of these two political parties na bow. I'm telling you Ghanaians minya say ya me wish me say I mean the era of NPP NDC and this chain of arrangement, that era should face off, and Ghana must start all over again. And by saying this I don't mean by say a soldier for umra. That's not what I'm subscribing. But whichever means, a soldier for no so me pese me kasa a soldier for no 7 previous. Womunye apes and zombies. They are human beings. The military, they are human beings. And then the people of Burkina Faso, they are very much okay than maybe a constitutional administration handle woman. Today, the people of Burkina Faso are cladding in what? Glory. When the guy took over the reins of administration, the Western government quickly wanted to what? Send their so-called aid. Their aid through the IMF. And he watched them right on their face and told them, man, I don't need your aid, right? I don't need your IMF and World Bank and those goddamn stuff. Come on, clear off. And he shut the Western powers, when we aid, off. Yenzwe. This is how Africa has behaved. And all times, Africa leadership will open their door, allow the Western powers to what? To establish their corporate puppet government. Is it not? You always allow the Western powers to establish their corporate puppet government, and as soon as they are done, then the next is what? They chunk on our resources, and then they loot, a daylight looting of our resources. No, they call. Mundia. Now, U.S. government, the government, one of those friends saying, the U.S. friends saying, bilateral cooperation, a government of wine, Ghana, $20 million, a whole field, bring all your military hardwares. Bring your military hardwares, your aircraft, your whatever, nobody near the go. When we are near Siam Momudian, Yamomo, a whole spectrum, a spectrum on which one bet to media, including eavesdropping on our telecommunication systems and everything. They control our airspace and they can shut our airspace down at any time. And the governments in Africa, how stupid can you be? Namuria, Maba Betra catch said, in the name of OAU, in the name of ECOWAS. That is why Ibrahim Traore has decided to, exit those your whatever OAUs Nisamo Dieben, because when we say African leadership, they are lunatics and they are suffering from what you call schizophrenic. Schizophrenic is a disease in which the individual becomes withdrawer and often hear voices and hallucination. That is how African leadership motiye. And then when we say attacks, so African leaders motiye, but the guy survived. Alright, he survived. Ibrahim Traore survived that military coup. And to Montreal, Afro Barometer no report by CDD say Ghana ha any pebi ejitum say military leader na di yeswa they are okay. Why? Because we are all tired. I Kwaku sitting here. I'm tired of the NDC and MPP. I'm tired. The question na make a no. NDC for na ba na ade ba kon me geji na mahwa. Me who how am seeing this emirkatu amudi ahedum so mu a I'm sure say many of you living within the western part of Accra, the whole of this weekend, women are called darkness. Me ba no, let me fear ni doom lights. Na me free ECG director so hwe na so light na answer me fie. And yes sir, ade am de pa be the next Wednesday won. Me dream am ntia say every time bia mebo some small brazes we no ma botai kakra no. E me see sem ni doom light. O nipa de o show sa no be dress no de pie no ko. E dia sem medum light medum MPP dum NDC dum MPP dum on my way Ghana wo just small dot one na me ba 32 years na muntimi. Listen to me, Ghanaians, be more angry than you are. 32 years into your democracy. Two parties where person me Kwaku Annan say, woman to be developing Ghana, 16 regional capitals. You guys are sick. MPP ni NDC, you are sick. Come on. With how many ministers? Akufo-Addo came and appointed saying over 100 and something ministers are brought down for sick people. Yariye, you are sick. I dare you people to speak and let's see in this country. Are brought down for Yare. Nigeria for Nenka say, if the Nigerians are complaining about darkness, it makes sense to me. What about here? Ghana represents one of a state in Nigeria. So, your inability to give us power at this time, a renewable energy, a constant sustainable power drive of our industry, domestic homes and other places, all up to 32 years. No, it doesn't make sense to anybody except those lunatics belonging to MPP and NDC. It will make sense to them, but not me here, because me, Kwaku, I'm non-aligned and I can never be aligned. Oh yes, I'm a non-aligned movement. It doesn't make sense to me. At least Kwame Nkrumah in his wisdom, Transidi Kofa Kaiser Forby, Emyebesi Akosomo. You see Akosomo how many years in ye? Bidisamo Akosomo how many years in ye see Akosomo? Akosomo has been there, God knows. And in Tanya Biano, Kwame Nkrumah freeway. Now, just said, na mo be hweme ye benya a sustainable energy supply no debio NDC bakakra na MPP abakakra se se asem nyama score 60 meboa 16 years. We need to get them out. We need Ghanaians get NDC MPP out of the scene. They are completely useless and balderdash. Womunim nyansa your leadership misi mu leaders no adwini nitirinim me na make a mo na mo de mo ntra na mo nko ne saa ye mu bi de sooner rather ye beja kro no ne yakọ ama fam kro cause me nim dey a nyansa pe fe nyansa beba sa nkofo ni tirim hwe motorway da hoyi hwe motorway the motorway no was meant to what to lift a lot of Ghana's products ye de be ko tema me I export the yakọ Kwame Nkrumah see how many years ni what they forget about all those governments abako under the Fourth Republic in Nkwa. How many years ni? Maybe say dey na my sa motorway ho. And then on my nothing. George Bush by and obe constructed Malam to Tetekwashe. Now I feel no more yet Mutuino. Well, in the era of Akufo-Addo, and the minister for road, Kwaku Annan, so whatever his name is, Kojina Mutuino, so Koye, CSMB, said your no betinya nepua, or no call the baby. The Munimuane or May, Muba, Mudisika rock basa. The Mubetinia Yemenipa, Wato, many peja castle, Muslim. And this, me say, and this in Quabetina no me so within 4-year period, develop your my MPP my. The Ghanaians listen, oh, me say, MPP in Quad, and this Betina the 4 years, no, and develop Ghana beyond you can imagine. Ne MPP my. MPP Betinyaba, no more so 4 years, and develop it, Kronu, na MPP my. I'm telling you, now, 34 or 5 million Ghanaians will be asked from Betom. But you know what? They ain't gonna do it. Now, so we are now a year assessment. Sika, I hear free or meme, hey, and yes, Kakito. Now, be such a namudi, dear. What did you do? What our money? Hospital, na wukwa, boy. Access water, yebenwa, boy. Road networks are boy, Adriania, boy, Bibian Kosu was on my back. One state pay Bibian Kosu. To the extent, say, a drum pempen Sobia, Adriana boy, dear, me feed the more important Adriana free amanoni baby. Oh, a pay. Equia Ghana, Wabro, when you say Ghana, Equia. That's why I'm so angry. The Wednesday born said, we yet nonsense. Any Equia out there, or Kwaku out there knows what I'm talking. Yet you know because on my cry Wednesday. The soul, the spirit of this nation is bleeding. I'm telling you, if you think that Ghana be bedroom, says Sano Yanko Penwa and Tessa a boniafo, one way sorry bonimu di boni edo boni sayo me and a pay Rianianadro. Nemfamo. A day. They say no. Ebra NDC war position. But should they damn ye electricity. Miaminia John Jinapo. The noise John made. And the John has zip it. As of Friday, John Jinapo is telling Ghanaians that woman could 100 million. 450 megawatt will be gone. And John said, don't make MPP in NDC. Don't make in terms of sustainable energy, no. Don't make it say, one more frefre. IPPs, independent power producer, and then the way the generator base on, I bet you know the generator base on. Say, independent power producer. One does from a year now we've lost count. But Pono still, Ghanaians still don't have energy supply. So what is which way can we have sustainable power? Now, me be saying this if was it. Can you use this current erratic power supply to what? To lift up your 24-hour economy? Well, I don't know. Meaning maybe I'm going to for power free. Just a dim question and cranny is here. A dim question and cranny is here. And yes, some anapo, a real anadro, and he pin hotel. John Mahama, so have to commend John Mahama for this one. Now, President John Dramani Mahama, Wama, na pamfoni na to mwase se, ubiara okachira o se, yeden, declare your assets, no. When declare, no, you must forfeit 4 months of your salary. Salute the president. Good one there. Yeah. Se me hwe mu kra na ese oyi wo mu edi. Se ye hwe mu a na ese se oyeden oyi wo mu edi. Na ese oyi wo mu edi. Ba oyi wo mu edi. But it's a step in the right direction, sir. President Mahama is a very nice, fine man. Now, in social be facing nara nyen social no ready so de ba beto ono ane nkrofo na de nsohwe ne bebre no. Yeah. I'm beginning to pick some report, very frightening report. Enche may release you. Brutal one. Enche kura. Enche, I'll release some dirty report. Now move say about try me Kwaku. Move say me hwe mudi. Those journalists for na more appointment na mo ombeki manual tomorrow. But no me here. Those journalists and Joe FM. Those journalists ewo himfa ewo your friends in TV3. Those journalists in whatever no. I'm telling you guys, I'm not scared about you guys, alright? I'm not scared either. It's about the mo appoint some journalists for no mu nyame anyi adwuma. Alright? Mo ye nipa bone fo ankasa na muguo. There are lots of media houses they be abo NBC for mo maye adwuma. Power FM, I know they did so great. XYFM, great. Mobile mohu. Mafre. Ahanzu CTV, Class Media TV, radio TV. Motimi be bisa omo. Motimi no madidi nkomo. Uya, ya muka kachira nkrofo nse when mo ni godfathers so pa. Ya min tua muka, mo ye nipa boni fo ankasa. Na muday is coming. Me say muday is eba. Mas ye nyimi yo. Ye nyimi. Na mo na ora joma ama se mun declare mo asset. On se bebre mun timi declare. Mun timi declare mo asset. Reason is because krono a mo pese mo body ka hunti. Owoda be mienu. Obepep mienu aka homa na ye 9. Ono nko a. Na party ni mu na obi nya ba akumpo. Okas be miensa. Wobepe be miensa ka na ye nsia. Obi wo party ni mu onya ba akumpo. Boni nko a. Edufude pe pesemen kuminya asemo mase twom. Is there mo national security or no so ho nkrofo raki wo mo nerves ho national security ho nko yi o yenim de mo ho osire se NDC fo mo ho osire o niam nko yi center ni ntimi hold all the MPP sem na mo de tete ho na mo ye mo ho sana folks amene mu nre mu ntem well John Mahama me bona baso papa but John Mahama na enche some of Mahama's appointees they have to go home. Not two ways. That's what I'm going to we expose them. They have to go home. Now what we are Behman, what they can say, John Mahama say declare your asset, undeclare. Simon, I didn't tell you to declare my asset. We are crum for you are criminals, thieves and rocks. Someone you nipa we are honesta. You see, under the you kind of saying one from saying crowd. Merefi. What we say, Kaneno Osha at 550 no. Enipa no de ye ni enam krono 70 obe declare ne assets na wunim de omo ye na watro I Kwaku Annan I have 2 houses and then I have 2 cars na watro na no we fold in say come and say not the envelope mu tie Ghana for tie not the way paper way not paper way or paper not the share envelope not the share envelope ma not the comma very saying office kwamo from sekra very affiliated kra auditor general they come auditor general. Now you know the sad part of it, auditor general any rights to open this envelope no or the more auditor general when say or share paper no or share envelope ni say keke say first say time say they will seal or when say I know they are to and one we auditor general into me who are there what anymore into way obisa say declaration of assets in any declaration of assets in any so they will continue to loot and steal this nation like their hairs are not there abodan for near chrome for omo ba bemwa they sing all the hallelujah and praises and shake and all of that as if said tell me who's MPP for be mo na ma mo ko dem omohwem akwa bi tuntumi oni titahwi ni tri huntini ni dede wo ye woni police for na be kunam say akwesi wejimi papa then how at this time of our era who co demonstration akokuntokwa am MPP what about them are you sick who told you they care about you na me who say abrante bi e fe Dennis Miracles or say Dennis whatever Oni osuso bi mu nsam ni ade nam say miracles no no di wenim Dennis miracles no ono why ye no nam no Dennis miracle is ono he's fabulously okay. What about you? Wo ye Ghana ni bebu baba nese wonim nyansa na demonstration boni ye frefrem se kodi akira sika no mo di ama wo demonstration ho no se gye no masa entimi ntua wo dan ka me kan kra na akira wo entimi wo ye ndc ni a wo ye MPP a tiemie their so-called demonstrations na any woman sound soon no di wo Ghana no sa demonstration by close of day me say entimi ntua wo dan ka electricity a wo to ofie entimi nto ata ye bi a day or two we ono politician nso one will bet me at 1,000 Ghana cedis or 2,000 or their quarter power or the beguso no was so air condition no dim and megu honum medie sa no to wonso and when they call you to come for a demonstration mufa nyansa and tumuti wate we've come of age to learn some be jai some parties in penny for no me face or rough because sooner rather later enche ye bechi chimpeni for no bebre ye bechi chom ono one na ekọ wo mo chichom do mo court ho a na wodi akira court ho na ono ma ko prison ho. Okay folks, Ghana Speaks proudly brought to you by Ora Blaster for semen cancer radio ane Ora Blaster for ebe boama asasi bia wo so sabria eso ye hunte because nsase no eye only Accra hape ena nsase sem eye ye kan sen eye basa but Ora Blaster for semen modi ruwi enchiro na afi yenye den yentwa nsase sem bia aye problem so wasase na wo ko honto kwana de me meka cho nsenche hold on asase hun krata wo call lands commissioner eni ho wo fa ha hey akodu court kra na yentimi nkama na enwie de bia so be kwa asase no so no ni nipa guso landguard fo chale serious landguard so kutanse kan kotokro nsrada ejan nim ne ax so nyina wom pikas na aba nipa ba ko a yeyi ne free asase no so ho pikas aden how forget it jato na me mo na me Ora Blaster for nsa wo so a me no medie ni yentimi ma wa asase ni bi wate asase ye di ma wo betimi de si won kasa after say wo be fie pension no wetimi be si 2-3 bedroom na wo do tiatum kama unu obi any problem make a be so person go into some business being real estate ana so person we see yanam Airbnb hotel ana person we tally first we see schools cluster of schools university or which now they are then would they emanko forma yekom kosua de nina a business Ora Blaster for no bevwa what as I see we ya maybe ka kire we say a place of your choice are still from remember a place of your choice what omanyans as na be brave kwa benya kaswa break danger ama samane nsa wo mbotiano be brave Ora Blaster for no ensa asini no wo mo the electricity access water road network wo mo the cause any problem ochna Saturday atwem bia wentimi ane wo manko because on moko site every Saturday there but still call them ochna tomorrow and a patututu fra one Duncan Nebeka so say oh Duncan catch and say Kwaku Annan say me fra na me no ni nkomo friend was 053-617-6327 053-617-6327 Ora Blaster for be bom wenyansa sekrogia air litigation free. Take a listen to this.
Hello and welcome. Thank you. Sure. I'm interested in buying a plot of land. Seeing your ads online, decided to pass by, come check it out myself. Doing business without seeing real offices these days is kind of really stressful.
What is your budget range?
Spending about 50 to 70,000 Ghana cedis.
Wow. Luckily, we have a plot of land here going within that range. Actually, at Dentra.
Oh, great. And how's the payment plan?
We have an initial deposit of 20%, outright payments, 3 months payments, 6 months payments, and 9 months payments. With the outright and 3 months, we give you 1 triple stone and 1 triple sand.
Oh, wow, interesting. Sure. And I think I'll go for the 3 months payment. When can I go view the site?
Every Saturday 10 a.m. is site viewing.
So my feel we are good to go.
That's fine.
That's nice. Thank you. Nice doing business with you.
Nice doing business. Thank you.
Find your dream property with Aura Blackstar Limited. Visit us today and let our expert team guide you home.
You can contact us on 030-2452-555. 030-2452-555. our website at www.oralblackstarlimited.com. Oral Black Star, your preference, our priority.
Great, folks, welcome back. And of course, this is the Frontline show, the nation's biggest investigative magazine show with Kwaku Annan. Folks, you know, let's forget about me, Kwaku Annan program. Forget about me. So media me who you were here a wasem. So ubufu me so a wasem. Ti asema me catch on ye. Me say me ubufu me a wasem. So me who you were here a wasem. But fundamentally, if you think, say by this time, 32 years still counting into our democratization, now we are gone in now what wherever you are in any of the regions, in any of all the regional capitals, what your district, community you live, meaning, let's be being Cassandra. So no, all is not well for this nation. On one particular thing, two parties need what to do. No one to me ya. Na we ba no wako sa no mo ya. Na wan kasa we biza won say na dia agro ben ye die. Ye dia concert party ben ye. Hwe ante say nsu ya sha asie. Ewia we tumi bossa crazy. The sunshine air bono. So say ubi say dia na ye dey sun ewia we betim di aye. Edie yo ene betim di ewia we aye. Nanso wono onyankopon twediampon basayadom wa manipa nyansa se mu betim di ewia we generate electricity. Nipa se yenwene. Comment bi to say Germany man ewia no baby ewia no ewo any Germany kru is over 7 million miles. Germany penny kura womuni ewia no mu wapa nanso kohwe electricity. Kokrobi to say Netherlands, Amsterdam. One more Amsterdam beka say Kwaku you are not lying. They know. You have him for message brand na chem say ne kura na enye ne kure. Wo Amsterdam kwe Amsterdam kwe siwe. More than 60% of a kronu is insuoso. Now the one say Amsterdam produces everything, including electricity, by application of what you call windmill, and they produce power. Windmill, Monswe. More than say we invite generators. Fiti memrim generators generator we ba near the see near the generator we aba na generator we aba and asogle asowwan and a car power and a deben and sembasa uniti ni atambi near the see na napo atambi de kosi kumasi for the sumo da besin there sa car power no de ko kumasi nkra de wan fa nkokra nche here chese adebie nu a party si mienu me no won want to kwa me no won need afọ niam am ye ne de munye. But the fact is that both parties are unable to resolve electricity supply for the people of this country. One issue I get cross with both parties. And na mami who say Ghana ni bia opese hu aban ne so obon ho modern a ho na ese ogogina ho na hu say no wo mi nim nyansa. I'm informed about the politics of today. Tonight, we throw a sharp focus on the internal standoff in the New Patriotic Party and the attempted coup plot in Burkina Faso. Now, there is some political inertia building in the NPP over who leads the party next. However, this inertia is throwing the good values of the party out of gear, damning the consequence. Internal wranglings, TT NPP party, nyamwa, MPP munya, Ghana for him, Bane, but from them family. Me, Nyamasemo. No, Nyamasem, but a good party in Mwase, at the party in Bafom, nem family so. Mwasema. Na wohwe nyoma ekoswa ewo party ni mu a na kyese enipa bi aye omadwene se kwen bia so no internal wrangles here ekoso is here na me ma small build up bi. It's because enipa bi aye omadwene se one particular candidate bi So man fana ma MPP asumdwe emmemuda in the very recent times we after mu history there mo amunim say dem history esitie bakebi a chere Ghana for aka tied all the way from 1979 kwan fa so ye mu chiche from Buzia time na Buzia time kwa MPP kwa mo nti Buzia time Buzia was a professor Buzia no mu dwanenum so he's the only professor in Ghana Oni Akufo-Addo papa Edward Akufo. Ohona Ghana introduced the prime minister presidency. Akufo-Addo papa was just a ceremonial, right? And then Ghana nothing. Yehu into me MPP for mu ye de wa bontona. Hey, right from your tea party na be do be remote. Ma say yehu Buzia time. Mo de o men kowura mu sa. Nieme bi abuzia ye tan. Ena ma kutu champion. Clear, obe clear ni free ho. Buzia by the same or the Ghana call IMF. Buzia be introduced then or the call IMF. No crown show. Buzia take it over no. There was this he said Ghana were suffering from one employment deficit and job creation. Guess Buzia's finest economic policy program or tour, and he said in order for him to give Ghanaians a lot of jobs, do you know what Buzia did? Buzia said he's going to apply what he called the Aliens Compliance Order, and the Aliens Compliance Order Buzia Parliament tour. Buzia eventually lets go all hundreds and thousands of immigrants out of this country. Burkinabes, Nigerians, Togolese, why? Because in the scheme of things, Buzia felt said Ghanaians were not having jobs to do, and that most of the retail and miniature jobs in foreigners are take over. No, Buzia said no, those foreigners have also created a lot of businesses here that was helping the Ghanaian local economy to grow. Until he implemented what you call the Aliens Compliance Order. Mumisa said this year, nothing. And so, by and large, then Buzia moved this country now all the way straight to the corridors of the IMF. He dined and wined with the IMF. And the Ghanaian cedi was reduced to 41%. Buzia went further. This IMF conditionalities brought Ghana to its knees that we experience what you call austerity. Austerity measures that Buzia created. The austerity in the economy eventually brought what you call economic recession. And what happened? Buzia era remain in the history of this country, in which we can say recorded one of the largest public sector retrenchment under what is called Apollo 567. And Apollo 567 as anything. That's the total number of Ghanaians who were made to go home, and the IMF Buzia went. And those of you na parties nature history na especially those young guys no move free university no ma bana mo bokeka wo mo crowd they say and two asho mo say tom wo mo di NDC wo mo di MPP they don't learn anything kwasi asema so mo ma akronfo fa near the tumi be show mo so you can see the criminal gangsters of this country is a transition depending who is coming. Especially the young guys coming from friends say tech new economy. Show me this. Look at these guys. These rocks. They know to nothing. The minimum so when we create godfathers our party no mu ye do mu be shisho no mu diska. Nin kwasia keka e na show mama. They know to nothing. Buzia e bi crew we bi ode ko share no. Created austerity and economic recession. Ye ho antoye dawo. There be. And Buzia also remained one of head of state, president. He believes in the Western ideologicals pretty much more than being Africanism because it got to a time the people of South Africa at the close-shave destructional apartheid regime was causing to the blacks because the blacks are the indigenes in South Africa. Can you imagine that the people of the Dutch, the British, and the Indians claim South Africa assassinated Omodia. So what happened? The organization of OAU decided we need to form a coalition to go and help alleviate the suffering of the people of South Africa South Africa. It was Buzia's. When my dear Buzia said no. But believe in say Ghana, we remain the nerve center and the epicenter of OAU. Also no, me my Ghana and Kobe and Amparampara, Ghana was exempted in that. And the blacks in South Africa were being brutalized by the white imperialists. This is Buzia for you. Those bourgeoisies and the rasmatas, and that is the idiosyncrasy and your party's what ideologicals. And I'm obviously please stop this rocks and this nonsense. We don't have time for this crap. Mubetiya you kroni ya kroni nesuon. We are wa nye bantu gusuye body. We need to tell you people. We are tired and tired. Some food or some Ghana dodo. No maybe job bed or mobile drinking or mosa for management and all the channels auto. Sikadi ni medie basa a man of crazy muntimini war. Now muti kroma na mudani person. A crone down. Chrono or mining a down in your crew or mining a down 8 years. No, yeah, then. More coming here. I dare you people speak and let's talk. 8 years, and a year then. 8 years back to back, 8 years back to back of foolishness and senseless leadership we've had in this country. You think it's a joke? Go, somebody in Burkina Faso. How many years? The people of Burkina are in a horizon. Useless people. Now, you know what? I have said and maintained that the MPP, as part of my build-up to the MPP internal wrangles, I have said this and maintained that the MPP candidate Alhaji Mahamadou Bawumia, one, I'm giving 3 adjectives to qualify my assertion. One, he's a risk and a security threat. Listen, he's a risk. One. And he's a threat, 2, to the stability of this nation. Now, the MPP for no problem. For me, person, I don't give a hook. Me view. May respond to you. My enrich you CV. To me view. But the point is the MPP for the pow. Me say Bawumia a risk and a threat to the stability of this nation. Now me kokanu kuko me catch him playing on this screen because I told you way back before 2024 elections ebemu ene eto ho no. Why? Bawumia so far met me say in the history of this country he remained a political figure yenya or what a line up to one of a conflict zone in this country. Sa conflict na unye hu emunsunsun so nti e na mote south ha na mudi sansem hu no ye monko esoro boko ho monko ho. I live my life, significant part of it so minim the American. That's why I'm saying say ono Bawumia no so no anka so onya enta Bawumia twon ho free ho. Bawumia nye ready. Ba who say ebra na MPP war power. Anyway bebre koso oboko ho ni nara at the blind side of Ghanaians ye kan anu to mu. Serious one. Is it true? Say Bawumia try so or Leo somebody in a helicopter you did not question boko ekosi ohene saade na sia na nsi na ne mebi say e die nti na Bawumia person o yes saade no die nti na Bawumia person o yes. Is it because he was a vice president? Now why would Bawumia involve himself in the Boko conflict? Why? To escalate the conflict that ebeye say Ghana as a CSSA ye security apparatus ye du kogu Boko e die nti na Bawumia be say. Did we see an aircraft, a helicopter? MC Amonre se mbe hume eina sa video na. Or the helicopter fly obi o yedi ni kwose boko ni ekosi na ade so. Sa de ni si ya na. Esia, let me be say e die nti na Bawumia be sa. Why? Is it because Bawumia would do this because of a vice president and he has a power at a point? And then the question remains the national security architecture of the state knew nothing about this. And It is a siano, said the Baumian San Besisu Bioma, Nafi Baumian president, a deba sem and a Besu Boko. Samunima may catch a manadui. Boko as a small town could spell doom for this country, and I challenge anybody. The security events and officers of the state know what I'm talking about. Bokunkwa. Menka the rest of the yo northern belt me say Bokunkwa betimi twa kese e de ato o ma wo ma shikrowi. Semu nimu a me ka kire mo. Semu nimu a me say Boko crisis way. The Boko crisis has been more than what? I didn't say a quarter of a century or half. It's more than a century, more than 100 years. Onyame na di kroya fofie ebedu pempenso yo. Na Nyankopon po na ya dom se Boko no Baumia be vice president 8 years near to hudi, and there wasn't any explosion until the latter part he wanted to do it. Now helicopter na namon omeka ne krenchre Ghana for this helicopter we it is hovering within the airspace of Boko, true or false, and I dare Ghana Armed Forces for momeka ne krese we enyamo aircraft and namon no sa aircraft way no why na team. This aircraft, who was in this helicopter way? No one in that team. And Baumia, what do you know about this? And who were they sending there to go and scan? Move here, move around. Na bibi nyemu ene mu nsura de ena mu de mugu southern region ha say ena de bia mo sori a na se MPP fo ni nim de mu nyimu a na se mu bisa won so no yem pe candidate foforo ko Baumia. As long as I obey, I can say tribal angles to one of this lady, you do see adieso enye. For the purposes of the peace and stability of this country, let's avoid this, baby. MPP say, hey, yenti jai. As long as you deba o beba, akronfo no ebenya kwan ewiewio musika. Akronfo no beko so abom mane krono. Akronfo no beko so edi nsem hu e wo Ghana no yemfem na every day we omoye wia unima dem every day wo beta Boko ntokwa saa o na obi say enti ntokwa ni sia Baumia beko Boko ho no as one of the factions going to restore peace or going to restore what one kasa saa bri de waye owi enti wo be di president na e na wo beko akọ restore the peace no metie o e betia aye. Now, as part of the build-up, after the era of John Dramani Mahama, the political dynamics automatically changes, and Ghanaians would begin to assess whether or not a Nordna should be re-elected as yet a president of this nation. And also, Madrid home. Say, on my Ghana, the woody yes or sep gradiasa. We free so or a Nordna. His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. Now, Sir Mahama na memoir. The political dynamics automatically changes. We move to another angle. Nehono Ghana for ni baby some more and lots of questions said. Also, yen sign tuaba Emma Nordna mani medi or may subiomana. Nina be part of an issue that we need to box it. Ibidi hun komo. MPP for Madrid hun sa. Madrid, I'm not sounding tribalistic, but that's a fact. Madrid hun, mashe sa angles nina. Any more mu ye dede na chinchina che. Baumia ni meure mu no. And at least within the MPP, there at least I can say now nobody, two people pay. Kennedy Kwame Japan, any Baumia, as long as MPP will go for glory. As a massa. And some minimum MPP for ya. And by this time, you must begin to be counting on your high ups. Possibility of say Ghana for yes say no. Esruni ebebe dia de asese an yenko south a ene na hwan ene party mi yede ni wurem e manako hwan so na sabri so wetimi marketing huye hwan so na wo in good standing obetimi hwan so na wo dom di nechi hwan so na obetimi aboaboafo hwan so na obetimi agina simpie so na wetimi aden arally say Ghana for nya ti ha nti ha enye MPP ngwa o e ho na edu ho a Ghana for including the non aligned for na ye ti ha ye adwen ye ho Yen narano, ye besha sa wine na mode neighbor. Na fi yen ya agitrada, ni akasa okay, ye na moko. Monu ye no ho. Na no between Baumia and Kennedy Japan. Why? And the mobile team didn't see simply so uncle. Some for Kennedy in Kwane, a bear wire. Ibizamo. Some for Kennedy in Kwa, near Bear, because you need to analyze all these dynamics. Now, one of mobile meanwhile, the M1 a China one say, show more report. The NPP's report from Mo Yakani saying your regional capital, Ashanti region, Kumase, pay by many hopes na doye, every time you can ye. Me now will report him. Baumia forms base of why you lost in Ashanti region. Did you not say that in your report? Bibi Samu. Baumia forms part of why MPP lost in Ashanti region. Does that make sense to you people? That even your own base, your own headquarters, Baumia couldn't make any impact. Nevertheless, to talk about Onu Baumia and the hometown in Wali and the rest of it. So me drew him. Say na mukaka. We say Professor Michael Kwe. We go come ga say Kwaku Annan. We did penny natem. Professor Michael Kwe. Report. Kumasio. Your base. You lost miserably. A despicable debacle. Nothing to write home about. And yet, the party officials still close their eyes as if they are walking out there like headless chicken. My goodness. Are you guys thinking? Nyanse bi ye adwuma de. Ashanti region report. Ye de ba bi ye adwuma. Ebri na eba. Ye ba bi report on some mo na mo keka we now. At least it was seen in the report said Baumia a base part of why you lost because Baumiansa a didim e wo boku crisis ni mu e ka ho bie na video ba sem. Folks, mama ko short break me ba then ye be ko Burkina Faso ya kwa ko ye dwumi bi wo Burkina ho. Yes, as I speak, of course we are also learning that there's a groundswell of a massive demonstration here ebe hit here in the capital in support of why Ibrahim Touare ewo ni position and the presidency ewo Burkina Faso me kwa ba me ba afi mema bibi after CDD latest Afro barometer report me ba be yimodwuma in the coming days but me ko break me ba e be Burkina Faso na fi yahwe CDD report. Stick and stay. My name remains still Kwaku Annan. I'll be right back.
Hello, welcome. Thank you. Sure.
I'm interested in buying a plot of land, seeing your ads online, decided to pass by, come check it out myself. Doing business without seeing real offices these days is kind of really stressful.
What is your budget range?
Spending about 50 to 70,000 Ghana cedis.
Wow, luckily we have a plot of land here going within that range. Actually, at Dentrout.
Oh, great. And how's the payment plan?
We have an initial deposit of 20%, outright payments, 2 months payments, 6 months payments, and 9 months payments. With the outright and 3 months, we give you 1 triple stone and 1 triple stand.
Oh, wow, interesting. Sure. And I think I'll go for the 3 months payment. When can I go view the site?
Every Saturday 10 a.m. is site viewing.
So I feel we are good to go.
That's fine.
That's nice. Thank you, sir. Nice doing business with you.
Nice doing business.
Find your dream property with Aura Black Star Limited. Visit us today and let our expert team guide you home.
You can contact us on 030-2452-555, 030-2452-555. Our website at www.auralblackstarlimited.com. Aura Black Star, your preference, our priority.
Welcome back to the Frontline show. Of course, this is Ghana Speaks Extension. Folks, I can count some few messages with you. Now, Eben, I say, Kwaku, we don't need NDC NPP. All we need is Tuari kind of leadership. Paul Otu, also I support you 100%. Kwaku Annan, don't break the table because of this ministers. Oh goodness. Then Festus Pai, or say, I don't know whether they are drinking the lights. Then we used to say no NDC, no MPP. We need Canada, Japan. Obviously, no. Festus was also Kwaku Annan. I say we are crying for Ken. We used to say Wednesday born to the world. Power to the people. Right? Power to the people. So we are crying for Ken. Also Wednesday born to the world. Okay, then it's shame. In fact, some of the leaders in Ghana are very wicked. Kwaku, why is it that Archbishop Duncan Williams, Ajinasari, and Kumchacha Ankra quiet on the current happenings in Ghana, including Kofi Odro? Well, say let's Ken be Ken. We also say Daniel. Also fantastic. George Mains also Mahama too did same thing. Kwaku, Mahama told us that all his appointees should give 10% of their pay to Ghana, but when they left power, that 10% deduction was nowhere to be found. Okay. Obahanzo also George Mains also be wise. Okay. I say they are afraid of the coming of Kennedy and NDC where we are as a nation. We only need Kennedy Japan to change the destiny of this country, not Mr. Pualugu Dam. $2 billion, blah 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 blah. We be seeing the all kind of. I remember I'm making a message when I typical in Ankasemuzwai. I say good evening, Mr. Kwaku Annan. I am Poglo Ransford from La Paz. Mr. Kwaku Ransford, oh the man from Mr. Midin Kwaku na ye why? Men worry Mr. Ninch men money have. Also the enemies know the good work that you are doing, but I can promise you that the evil arrow will not hit you, but they will rather die in disgrace. Okay, Ransford, no, they free La Paz. By Ransford, thank you very much. My mention was also good evening, Kwaku Annan. Talk on must go. I'm Ketewa from Ewutu, Bodrase, Enode, Ebae. Okay, we also say Ghana need military rule because stupidity is too much. Dixon Abokobi, Enode, Ebae. Was good evening, Kwaku. Please, I am Ernest Kwanzaa Jr. from Dansuman. Oh, Kwaku, you always open my eyes with history. Ghanaians should know that you are not the kind of journalist who rob Peter to pay Paul. You are serious in your work, and this generation have to learn from because you are more than world wisdom. God bless you, big bro. All right, Kwanzaa, thank you very much. Good one. Then I say good evening, Kwaku Annan. My name is Ras Chacha from Yape in the Central Gonja. That's my man. Also, I like the way you open fire on both political parties, NDC and MPP. Also, we plead with Ghanaians to exercise patience with His Excellency John Dramani Mahama to reset Ghana as he promised, and he will surely deliver. This second coming of His Excellency John Dramani Mahama is a different ball game altogether. Kwaku, always open fire on NDC. They try to go wayward. By the way, more fire and also Ode Ebayam. We say Buzia paid himself 2 years' salary before he was overthrown. This is NPP for you. Buzia may have the Pepe Biao. You see, Buzia's government, I will tell you, remained the only government in which nobody was arrested or prosecuted for political reasons. I salute you, Kwaku, for the good works you are doing for motherland. Sometimes I feel Ghana won't be better because All them leaders are empty-headed and corrupt. Also, President Mahama has made it known that by 7th May, if the appointees do not declare their asset, they're gonna be dismissed from the appointment, and that's the way to go. This is hashtag the bold talk watching from Bessel Light, something like that. Okay, message in there. Playing to you. I say, so sad to hear of people claiming to know all, talking about military takeover. Ghana needs intelligent people to talk to us. JJ came at the end. What happened? We smear his name, hypocrites. Ajiti Mas La Apapa Bokena. Okay. So with thousands of claps, I say, Brother Kwaku Annan, well done for praising Ibrahim Touare of Burkina Faso and his colleagues. Ghana politicians should be worried and do the right thing. From Kwaku York Kaswa and all the buyer. Yeah. Folks, message right here. It's a brag Kwaku. The 10% for former Mahama administration deducted from his administration's pays were what used to put up all the 1,000 and over chip compounds across the country before NDC left power in 2016. Efoga Kofi Kotoka from Kumeno Debaye. Well, I'll say, Mr. Annan, you are a neutral man and I love you. You speak truth to power. God bless you. You are national treasurer. One for Udian Mao. Oh, okay. When so I say, Charlie, me message for a long time. I've been stacking your message. I say, Kwaku Annan, good evening. MPP should ask Abronye. Is it sack Abronye from the party? If not, they will collapse MPP party. Kwaku Annan, don't give up, okay? We are behind you all day. I am Ketewa from Ewutu Bodriase. Good one there. Where's I say? Amasari from McCarthy Hills. Good one. Do you have light there? McCarthy Hill. Check and say light to her before I get home. Well, see, please, the rates we do experience light out in Kaswa is unbearable. Please speak to power for us. Nanayao. Hey, me say the people of Kaswa, dear. Kaswa. Oh no. Kaswa. Ye doom light, dume Bekaswam, yes, Kaswa. Hey, what is going on? Just said, good evening, my brother. Who is Anas? What? Something he's smart. I'm Malik Ibrahim Kwaku. Nobody can touch you. We are here. Oh, message in one showing you, two showing you kakrama amia. Why? Okay, my message is you na memra. Was it since yesterday 8 p.m. It just came over. I'm sure say birim bebre afina mo light eba. Sibahu. But as I speak to you, Ghanaians are tired. The NPP, NDC, your inability to develop this country, Ghanaians are tired. Na munshe bibi ye, media me kanama ko Kwaku me manu we ya. Manu we ahaya na medididie na meka muntie. We a minister, we a high-ranking government official, municipal chief executive, district chief executive. Bompaya se obeboa John Mahama ma memwo na koye na Ghana for no se mo yama ya kutoye ya die pa mpo de beka se montra ho na mun develop your man se da mo pebia ba mo mpene sa sikedie emedie to talk dying cars nimni ade to talk cars dying nimni ade de mama enko a sikedie enko a ba man hwani a Ghana for ni bebria ento na Ghana for be sorry agitwi agitrada eno na mfa ho se MPP you have your 6 million core NDC you have your 6 million mitonyame ebe shoke mo na the way be see chase mo memu ha no emirikatuo mo be dwane but to emipom enuyam esirem kwayam ensuom ene enuyam mo be dwane emirika atoto esirem ni enuyam emipom Emirikatuo se sa amoko politicians na menemo kasa no. It is coming. Se nya de nam kwam na eba CDD Afro Barometer and capture the capture no. Now, Yemra Ghana's Week's extension. Of course, I welcome all of you. And in this edition, we gauge the global reaction on the attempted military coup plot in Burkina Faso. And tonight, we begin with also the events also capturing in Vatican after the death of Pope Francis, and some African leaders have to make a trip to pay their last respect. But folks, unfortunately, they were left unattended. Make us say, Bibri, I'm sure say your eyes are on international wires. What are you watching? The conclave soon to elect the Pope. Yeah. Sooner rather later, any moment from now. The Pope, Vatican, be elected. They are in a conclave. Okay, be elected Pope. But African leaders will be so called. Womu so call no na womu ko pay womu last respect e dia ma Pope no womu call no Iran dey si wo ho no areho. So African leaders gina ho a yem for womu nya hwe bone be ntia. Take a listen to this.
God have mercy upon us. God have mercy upon us. God have mercy upon us.
Namotam baby nzwe. Fancies net no tekumudu nzwe. So what na ho tekumuda nche ba asem na obaba. Some hotna mu tekumuda African leaders knew. Fast developing growing in the Burkina Faso revealed an attempted military coup against Ibrahim Traoré, allegedly orchestrated by some Western elements. Yehwe ebri kakre ya Burkina Faso ho aye ohoye brezeze aye hunte pa yi. Chese some Western elements bi ya akizo mo sento mo pese mo betu aye Ibrahim Traoré. Na die enti na mo pese mo yesa. Well, Ibrahim Traoré narrates the circumstances led to his military coup and how he became the leader of Burkina Faso. On one kasa wakasa. Na finikasa emu wachire mu sentia ene Burkina Faso oman ekutanwa ohwe kuru no so. Nete se wan sori kekese wo bai bibinti. There was what you call the precursor. But it's beginning to look as though now there's a very wild trepidation looming in Burkina Faso. But they say, hey guys, we ain't gonna chicken out. They are on a firm, very firm, ready to what? To shackle any Western imperialist. Not someone okaye justify say sentia obidi o mine suni. Ti na sem ni yipa and make a sense of it. Take a listen to Ibrahim Traoré.
They enjoy saying it every year in their economic surveys. Burkina Faso is the poorest country, Mali is the poorest country, Niger is the poorest country. We are ranked among the last. Very well, if we are as poor as they say, but when the time came to take responsibility, we asked these masters to leave. Why don't they want to leave? When we take the case of Niger, for over 40 years, some countries have been exploiting uranium to produce energy for themselves. From Ottawa to Paris, the streets are lit up. That's the light. But in Niger, it's darkness that is served to us. When you go to our states, our lands are riddled with holes, everywhere in search of precious metals like gold, but often there isn't even the slightest accessible road to reach the areas where they exploit gold, let alone some basic social services. That's why we decided to revolt and take the destiny of our countries into our own hands. There are many other examples. But when we decided to do so, well, we were approached by some armchair slaves to deliver the message of their master, because they had created this kind of polymer chain that rises to the head of our states to serve them. And we came to break the chain. And it's inconceivable for them. They approached us and asked us to fall in line to become part of the elite that must lead Africa. Because they have a trained and conditioned elite that they must follow, who are embedded in that chain. We refused to fall in line with them. And from then on, hostilities began. They have infiltrated our areas with several mercenaries, trainers. Agents have descended into the Sahel, hoping to carry out barbaric, cowardly attacks against our populations, hoping to incite them to revolt. In addition to these on-the-ground attacks, communication attacks, manipulation and disinformation are rampant in their ranks. But the people of the Sahel have understood, and never again will they be manipulated. They know where they come from, they know what they are doing, and they know where they are going. We will no longer allow this. People are awake and fighting today, not for ourselves, but for future generations. And thank you all for the fight that is being waged. This never makes us cry. We will not tremble. We will face it. We will fight for true independence, for our freedom. Because to scare the people of AS, these individuals only have 3 terms in their mouths: democracy, freedom, human rights. Of course, their local lackeys are only elected in a democratic, free and transparent process, according to them, their values. What could be more normal? That they want to impose this on us, because they are the ones who set the rules. Very well, we have decided to take responsibility for ourselves. That's why on July 26, 2023, when Niger decided to turn the page, the armchair slaves and their masters got on their high horses. They put their local lackeys forward and decided to wage a war against the Nigerian people. So we said, anyone who dares to attack Niger will face us, because we will wage a relentless war to the last drop of blood against anyone who dares to attack our state. This statement, this decision we made yesterday is relevant today and will be relevant tomorrow and forever. Thus, the AES was born on September 16th, 2023, within a framework of mutual defense. But we deemed it necessary to extend and expand the architecture of the AES. What brings us together today should allow us to venture into other areas beyond defense, notably finance and economy, infrastructure, health, education, and so on. I hope that these moments will be a story we write for the AES, but especially for Africa and the entire world. May God enlighten each and every one of us. May God inspire us in these tasks entrusted to us. And above all, when we carry out our work, let us keep one thing in mind: the supreme interest of our populations. With that, we pray once again to the good Lord to accompany us all in our various tasks, to protect our fighters, who, thanks to them, allow us to sit here and discuss the future of our states. Once again, thank you, people of Niger. Be united and in solidarity. People of the AES, the homeland or death.
Ibrahim Tuari, ne kasai. Smahu, yeah. What in some no kikayano? Ufe mwaba, sentia, ene. Ujina only did the people of Burkina Faso for. I've been to Burkina severally, overly. Smahu, she said, yetimi betu on many resources nibi. Na yede kwa koma a power electricity energy o many resources no na ya tam resources no say as if say Burkina Faso for the omono sabi na chese die pa na ha Africa leadership show maybe to say Niger enioma yewo ewo Niger kronum enioma yewo ewo Burkina many resources be brew. See here can say what Ghana he say Almighty said Niger no the people of France minor ebe two you can say resources no say a friend simple uranium when we be to the whole world a crowd one generate over 50% of what uranium no Niger for. Now can you imagine say one more ebe two uranium no near the uranium no echo him from France. Now France for no e generate electricity. Then France will supply energy production way to many neighboring countries within the European region. Then the people of Niger at the Sumu, how can this be? African leaders, Bonnie Bay and the Yayamu. How then the leadership, the Western world, ever be influence leadership in Africa? Na ye two and your mano Ghana as if say who be that? Show, my memo Ghana dear. Yet your memo how in the era of Kutu Echampon. Kutu Echampon shall be doing us to know. Wait a minute. Yet not foreign companies ever they come. They fall our timber, our rosewoods, our cocoa, our diamond, our bauxite. No, they call. Not gonna receive a small percentage. Could you example didn't also know? I must bring an end. I mean, this era we must face off. So could you example here then? He went into the archives. At that time, Osajifo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah has developed a blueprint by one of Nkrumah's ally called Kwaku Annan. Kutu Echampon took that blueprint, he read it, he actioned it, and he decreed. And following that decree, made all foreign companies in this country, womu try timber, womu try rosewoods, and womu dig soya no. Say, some dig soya no. The mineral deposit in the Ghana must get a greater percentage. Na mo fakito an Franco. And Kutu Echampon succeeded. He succeeded to grip these foreign powers, their hands, Emma Ghana Hutom. This is under the Fourth Republic, right from Kufuor, Basin now. No more no mudim foreign companies and Momefa. Yet former President Kufuor laid red carpet for Newmont to land in this country. My castle way several times. Newmont a castle on red carpet. You know, yet a whole of where a event brim, ahafo brim. Any himfa yet the momo against the backdrop say Newmont for Embetra Ghana our enviable food staples. Ghana our enviable one of our export earnings like cocoa. Brim ahafo ye dwiri hon sasi negu. Ni na echi Kufuor esan yeden exempted taxes ewo Newmont for omunfidie so. Yeah. This is what you are doing to your country. So, when you allow these useless mushroom foreign powers to enter your country, Just I don't get it. At the expense of your nationals, at the pain side of your people, and you don't even think. The people in Brim, Ahafo, enemy are still crying over livelihood. Hey boy, Newmont for one say every day, no more helicopter and them Ghana airspace, and one also more shipping gold need they say just like that. Dani Yankotia, na Kufa don't so buy oh Ghana, Yemfa friend saying your gold kakra so Yemfen call London, Yemfen ko see himfa. Eye den Jesse Deben na Ghana Yemfa so kakra ewo hu gold na mo dey call London the Jesse ho e dey ko sia wo ma Ghana nya ho mfa so no so hwe Akufo-Addo amemwo no ye o madwene se the percentage na beba Ghana me ye dey aye o mani ye no the MPP top officials led by Akufo-Addo want to take the greater percentage and give the government of Ghana 1%. Later and go say womoto eda ho no then the gold na e dey kono any special purpose vehicle metamorphose into what you call a japa whatever. First it came with a different name, later metamorphose into what? A japa royalties. Gold na mo dey kwekosia wo wano hwe aban ni mu mpanimfo no I think saying no more for say 4% to say 5%, no more the 1% e dey ama the government of Ghana. Mpanimfo na e wa aban ni mu e chedi. This is how wicked and cruel the leadership in Africa you want to be. Oh, this young guy, 35-year-old boy, 35-year-old guy. Oh, what, Charlie? I mean, what will happen that the people of Burkina Faso for because we don't like this guy. What for Kwachre? Share program away from Libya. Thank you. And then what's your name? Kwaku Ejaben also share program from Toronto. Kwaku, power to the people. In a related event, he gives a powerful speech at the second Russian African Summit and justify why he is the leader of Burkina Faso today. Afianuans ho Ibrahim Traoré echo Russian African Summit asie ohono kwachire mu sentia SSO to lead the people of Burkina for because there is something, and he told the Russian African Summit the reasons for it. Take a listen to this.
The questions that my generations are asking are the following. If I may summarize, it is not understanding how Africa, with so many riches on our soil, with a generous nature of water, abundant sunshine. Africa is today the poorest continent. Africa is a hungry continent. And how is it that we, as heads of state, travel the world begging? These are questions we are asking ourselves, and for which we have no answers so far. We have the opportunity to forge new relationships, and I hope these relationships can be the best to provide a better future for our peoples. My generation also asks me to say that due to this poverty, they are forced to cross the ocean to try to reach Europe. They die in the ocean, but soon they will not cross because they will come to our palaces to seek their daily sustenance. As for Burkina Faso, today we have been facing for more than 8 years the most barbaric, the most violent form of neocolonialism, of imperialism. The slavery that they still tend to impose on us. Our predecessors taught us one thing well. The slave who is not capable of assuming his revolt does not deserve pity for his fate. We do not pity ourselves, and we do not ask anyone to pity us. The Burkinabe people have decided to fight against the terrorists in order to revive their development. In this struggle, brave peoples, courageous populations have committed to taking up arms against terrorism, those whom we have affectionately called the VDP, the volunteers. We are surprised to see the imperialists label these VDP as militias and all sorts of things. It's disappointing because in Europe, when people take up arms to defend their homeland, they are called patriots. Our grandfathers were deported to save Europe. It was not with their consent, against their will. And well, upon their return, we remember well that in Tiaroye, when they wanted to claim their basic rights, they were massacred. So it doesn't matter then. When we, the people, decide to defend ourselves, we are labeled as a militia. But that is not the problem. The problem is seeing African heads of state who bring nothing to these people who are fighting, but who sing the same tune as the imperialists by labeling us as a militia, by calling us people who do not respect human rights. What human rights are we talking about? We are outraged by this, and it is shameful. We, African heads of state, must stop behaving like puppets that dance every time the imperialists pull the strings. Yesterday, President Vladimir Putin announced the sending of grains to Africa. We are very pleased. We thank him for that. But also, it is a message sent to our African heads of state, because at the next forum, we should not come here without having ensured for those who do not know war, the food self-sufficiency of our peoples. We must learn from the experience of those who have already achieved this in Africa, build good relationships here, and foster better relations with the Russian Federation to meet the needs of our populations. I may not be long, the allotted time is very short. We are obliged to stop at some point, but I would like to conclude by saying that we must pay tribute to our peoples, to our...
Great. This is when I would miss a leader kasa. No kasa and nipani na eboso tom yam. It was African leader be to no watch any say no war here no. On things in miase. But make a message very quickly. First of all, I say Burkina Faso can be resolved. We say Kwaku, you need to visit there. Oh, after Burkina, I've been there several times. I know how the place look like. John King, my John King, power to the people. I say hi Kwaku, I am back and ready to contribute to your to my contribution to your respectable or respected program. Bravo for your good work and dedication to society. James Kumsen watching from Qatar. Kumsen, I hope to be kama. And then William Amo also watching from Amsterdam. Willie, I hope so Amsterdam BBI. Willie, tell me Amsterdam, more source of energy than windmill a part of it. That's it. Now, folks, me this one. Osajefo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah continue to remind African leaders not to forget their duty to unity of purpose and sense of resilience. Osajefo so kasache leaders amu Africa has them. Munhwe bibi ye se enkabom eyade ehuhia afin so eno enebema mahwoden a mahwoden no mudebe gina simpie so ade Africa region ediesi ho. Kwame Nkrumah gusu kasa chiremu. Take a listen to Osajefo.
Our enemies are many, and they stand ready to pounce upon and exploit our every weakness. They play upon our vanities and flatter us in every kind of way. They tell us that this particular person or that particular country has greater or more favorable potentialities than the other. They do not tell us, unite, that we are all as good as we are able to make ourselves once we are free. We want, therefore, to develop our own community and an African personality. Others may feel that they have evolved the very best way of life, but we are not bound, like slavish imitators, to accept it as our mold. We find the methods used by others are suitable to our social environment, we shall adopt or adapt them. If we find them unsuitable, we shall reject them. Fighters Fighters for African Freedom, I appeal to you in the sacred name of Mother Africa to leave this conference resolved to rededicate yourselves to the task of forming among the political parties in your respective countries a broad united front based upon one common fundamental aim and object, the speedy liberation of your territories. Don't let us also forget that colonialism and imperialism may come to us yet in a different guise, not necessarily from Europe. We must alert ourselves to be able to recognize this when it rears its head and prepare ourselves this mid-20th century. Our enemies are many, and they stand ready to pounce upon and exploit our every weakness. They play upon our vanities and flatter us in every kind of way. They tell us that this particular person or that particular country has greater or more favorable potentialities than the other. They do not tell us, unite, that we are all as good as we are able to make ourselves once we are free. We want, therefore, to develop our own community and an African personality. Others may feel that they have evolved the very best way of life, but we are not bound, like slavish imitators, to accept it as our mold. We find the methods used by others are suitable to our social environment, we shall adopt or adapt them. If we find them unsuitable, we shall reject them. Fighters for...
Great, folks. So, Reverend Kofi Oduro of Alabaster Church has described Ibrahim Traoré as a remarkable and exemplary leader worthy of emulating. Also, if we pen a meeting who say Kofi Oduro wakasa, I'm saying mo why are there? As Shepapai didn't say yes. Ujuma wudi obokine eye juma SSA nipe bi so hwa na omyeden omusia. Saying a Kofi Oduro eulogize Ibrahim Traoré. Take a listen to this.
This young boy, within just 6 months, has commissioned 18 factories. 18. They build cars in Burkina. They are building their own tomato. They don't import anything. First thing he did, he closed the borders. Nobody should come here. Nobody should come here. Do you think that Chinese can go to this boy's backyard and go and do galamsey? This boy came to Ghana and shook your president with a pistol. It's a statement. Nobody fools around. You fool around, we blow your head apart. We don't care about law. We are here to develop our nation, to help people. This guy here walked to your president with a gun on his side. It's a statement. You people bring Chinese from places, go to Takwa, Bogoso, Prisia, Chebi, and go and see the madness of your Christianity. Some boys in Naibiko Presby, Alabaster, Pentecost, CAC, your bottom. And I'm not saying your bottom keke. I'm saying your bottom by Jeremiah 51 verse 7. Your bottom. Munya papa. Munya papa. Munya papa mkenyeni. This boy know how he can boldly tell Burkina Faso, there is no need to travel to America. We are creating America here. Every young man, this boy, regional minister, regional minister, Monsumu 8 years ago. Are you people okay? And this boy, for your information, is a Muslim. Don't need communion. I want to hear. Tell me the meaning of your noise. No, the answer was here as we are sorry. That is Christianity. I am Christos time, Papa. I'm telling you, time, Papa. Sorry, but now we are going to go so. Christos time, Papa.
Yep, Kofi Oduro has nailed it right on the head. Also saying 18 factories. 18 akwa no ba so ye be na tuare bae. Muni mi ye tuare ebedi so. 3 solid years, 3 years old. Ibrahim Tuare is saying 18. This young boy said the Kofi can 35 years. We see 18 factories. El Burkina Faso. Munimu wase. You useless leaders. Mote Ghana. 32 years. 32 years of what? Hopelessness and foolishness. Mo factories no hey. All my factories have been taken over by churches. 18, a 35-year-old boy. A 35-year-old man, respect enough. We see 18 factories our Burkina. Now, Monzwe, say na Monsieur MPP NDC, Monsieur saying affordable house to come with Miami ya dem no. Affordable house say be dem no. We ba osimesimi dia ha, we sisi mesi AU village, we sisi mesi zem. Ba coupe ne dia ka mitimu pe se saglame. Saglame ho so enkyere benim fence kohwe ho enkusie enkrante ensebo enjata ene enkyere benim pemire agide ni mu ma say tom saglame enkusie o enkrante enkyere benim pemire enegum anapa wiane anadwo ena mudemu ho na obekon udu ho no ma it is a ghost house. Bang, I say Roma Adoma, bang, we know we man we abo. Ghana sika over $200 million and you do a saglame. When that guy, 35-year-old boy, what you say? Aha, zanete na motimu kroma ne nkwasi akeka ni Jimmy. Stupidity and foolishness and hopelessness. It's as if there's a light at the end of the tunnel, man, folks. Man, we ain't seeing any goddamn light at the end of the tunnel. It's a goddamn hopelessness. But I tell you, folks, there's a massive growing protest gradually, growing around the world in support of Ibrahim Tuare's leadership in Burkina Faso. What we say, we are seeing now them demonstrations we bring and here demonstrating. Mamini Kakribin Chep Namin Fisia, Wednesday, Mebabe, so take a listen to this.
Coopist support for Obia Wotu Abayegu 37-year-old Ibrahim Traore. Where London. Gambia streets Omudi Omati Union Edi Ama Ibrahim Traore. Gambia Omoso Ekoi. This is London. Indonesia. There are people from all the young Monko countries, Now Jamaica the end of kakra Rastafarians na bonyoma mano. Almost say in the past Yaku Thomas Sankara, Yayi Kwame Nkrumah, Yayi Lubumba, every Gaddafi, Bampanyi bi opportunity say opeso United Africa na say oye bibi ma Africa for enya ye gudie ho faso bia no. Na nkrofo ye kuno. Now much say this year dear say obi ya the papa Africans are able to see this is Jamaicans protesting for an African country president. Now this guy talking, say the video no ha. Also ye sojani or person or bano or bekonto kwani bi edema Burkina say US foreign TC1 they are ready to come and fight. Makancho say Gambians have formed a union say they will go to Burkina and fight. Not just say Africa for no be ana we are say for who say Obi ya the papa they can see because a Ghana phone kwan eternity and Yebeka say across the world including central London Yebeko USA Juan Kasa among 40 years krom say hands off Mumame Ibrahim Traore wo de pacho yanko protest ni so yanko na yehu countries no ye free this is New York City New York, Times Square, the most popular venue in the world, Times Square. And this is Times Square supporting Ibrahim Traore. Say Michael Langley and Trump and France for the world have seen your schemes, and we will not allow you to go and invade Burkina. Hands off. This is USA, and people are protesting against US and almost schemes to uproot and I say invade Burkina.
Folks, with the Musia, Simon, Ibrahim Traore, even at the heartbeats of the United States, Times Square, big screens, the US government, the only sad part of it, Wednesday, baby didn't come on, what was there? In any time, you know, we destroy in Africa, they use one of our own. And in this case, in their style of fashion to oil this guy, they use a guy who is also a man of color. General Michael Langley. He's a 4-star general in the United States, the US military. The US military, 4-star general. No, say US African Command. Projects near down and your project keto because one more share Africa so to your resources in Ako. And the leaders no muti Africa not drene. Abu Badam, you leaders in Africa. Abu Badam no more sign bilateral agreements and cooperation agreements and so forth. Folks, my main source and call. Message is in William Amo said, my heart has always cried that we would be free from our wicked leaders. When would Ghana and Africa be really free? Well, and that be free. They mean to mean was the same. Good evening, Kwaku. Ayiko, for your good work. We are behind you with our strong prayers. Don't worry, and nothing would happen to you in Jesus' name. Please come to Kaswa and see wonders. Where are the Zoom Lion? Where are the Town Council? Ghana, Kaswa Police, a whole lot of folks. Wednesday, okay. Great guys and mommy production. Echo Bestmark, Eta papa, and then a friend saying Ruby X, Kens Campbell, online editor, and then the two indefatigable always there. Yes, executive producer Yamba, and then credible. So much incredible indeed. Of course, editors at large, Kofi Ansa, director of research, and Kofi Jeromina Bomichidom. Program way at the YouTube. Ubit me akwahwe na wo kwahwe no so no wasoma wunue bi mo amohwe ne mainstream TV kudos mo so amohwe no online ana we nya nhwe so a eda YouTube utimi kwahwe na wa ma wunue bi so ahwe bi na bibia no together with Think and Talk and see how a bit me epeja Ghana Africa edi akoninim. My name still remain Kwaku Annan, your investigative journalist.